Alright, so the question is, what are your thoughts on Imbued Heart, rarity, time to obtain, and method to obtain? So, I guess just the question itself, there is a problem with magic boosts, but I don't think the problem is at all the heart whatsoever. Um, Heart, like, reasonably, if you don't go dry on it, it's a long grind. There's no way around it. It's a long grind. But ultimately, it's a quality of life item. It's not a mandatory item. It's not a thing that you have to get by any stretch of the imagination. I got grandmaster with no imbued heart. We got our imbued heart a few million Slayer XP after I got grandmaster. Like, you can do everything in the game without an imbued heart. So it's not like a mandatory item. It's a quality of life, nice, best in slot DPS increasing item. Um, I think superiors, because of what we've gotten recently, I think superiors are kind of in a good spot. 1 in 150 for superiors is pretty strong. Isn't it +7 magic damage on Shadow and 8 on task with Shadow? Well, we're gonna get to that. So, it's a quality of life item because, surprise, surprise, there are potions that boost your magic stats. They exist. Magic potions are the most dated potion in the game. I think it's because of, like, not wanting to be able to use certain spells early, like, for, like, way back in the day. I don't know what the logic is, but it's a +4. I think we can adjust magic potions. Realistically, I think magic potions can be better. That's just, like, the first thing when we're talking about mage boosts. Like, imbued heart is not the problem. It's all of the other options just being kind of shitty. You can do literally everything in the game with your current mage weapons and magic potions. You can do everything. If you want to do some of the more difficult stuff and you don't have an imbued heart, your next option is the ancient brews and then the forgotten brews. So you get you get the stuff from Nex, and then you get the stuff from Muspa, and then you can have the upgraded version. I forget which one comes first, but either way, they're both relatively annoying to get a lot of. Like, they're both pretty obnoxious to get a lot of. And, like, they're also just significantly worse than the heart, which they should be worse than the heart. They should be. But I think they're worse than the heart in, like, weird ways. I think everyone who uses them would much rather them not restore their prayer, not reduce their defense, and only boost their mage. I think it's just because it has the word brew in it. I guess. I guess that's the logic. I guess the logic is anything that has the word brew in the name, potion-wise, all has downsides. So there you go, that's why. If they named it something else, maybe it would have been a normal magic potion. Maybe that's what it is. If they called it the Forgotten Serum, it would not have restored prayer or reduced your defense. It hella wouldn't have. But since it's the Forgotten Brew, they're like, alright, it needs to do 3 things. We need to boost 2 things and subtract from something. That probably is what it is. I think we can add a potion is where I'm leading us. I'm leading us to the end goal. They've talked about this before when someone did a proposed sailing item with or a proposed thing with a new potion, and they said there's room in the design space for a new magic potion, but they said they wanted a more specific place to add it. I think we need some kind of magic potion with no downside that doesn't reduce your defense. You don't have to do anything. It just increases your magic level. And you should also be able to turn it into a divine potion. That way, you can have the maintaining a max boost for the 5 minutes. Maybe it puts you at, like, 2 levels lower than what an imbued heart is, or 1 level lower or something. It can't be identical. But there's room for something better than the current option of, like, the best you can get is, I think it's a +10 or a +11 that also gives you -10 defense, which, like, at a lot of places doesn't matter, but it's just wonky. Like, we use them at God Wars dungeon for Kriara, and it's like, you gotta restore your defense there. So, like, some places you have to restore that -10, some places not as much, but it's like, it's just weird. I think we can have something that's more accessible, but it's a resource drain. So, like, because there's no other good option, Imbued Heart seems like a big problem, because it's like, what do you do if you're dry on it? You only have these shitty potions. And it's like, well, the reality is you could do literally anything with those shitty potions. If you got a shadow in a magic potion, if you have a freaking shadow and no magic potion, you could go to Awakened Whisper unboosted without issue. That's not going to be what's stopping you from killing the boss. But it's like, it just feels bad to be really dry on a heart because all of the other options are so shit, you know? Because they are just annoying to obtain, they have downsides, and they're not as good as a heart. So, like, if we, say, add a new quest with a new reward for a new potion, I think it should be a magic boosting potion. I think it should have no downside, be slightly worse than an Imbued Heart, and you should be able to spend crystal shards to make it a divine, where you would get the saturated heart effect of maintaining your full boost. However, you take 10 damage and you have to spend crystal shards. I think that'd be the most reasonable answer to answering the heart problem. But, like, I don't know. I just don't think, like, it's the heart itself. I think the heart itself is, like, if you play an Iron Man for a long-ass time, not everyone's gonna get one by the time of 99 Slayer, but the reality is, like, you got way more than 99 Slayer to do on an Iron Man, so chances are you're gonna go on rate or, like, hit rate for a heart, and, like, 60% of people are gonna get their heart when they hit that rate, or by the time they hit that rate. So it's like, it's a problem for some people. Going dry always feels bad in general, but I think superiors have only gotten easier and better, and with the more Slayer creatures we get with better Imbued Heart chance and that are worth killing, like Smoke Devils are disgusting, Araxites are disgusting, like, the heart grind is in a completely fine place right now. Tariel Slayer just got a nasty buff as well, so, like, the heart grind hours has only gone down over time. It's drastically gone down over time, but it's still just, like, there's no alternative, so it still sucks if you're dry. So I think that is the brutal bit of it, is just, what do you do if you're dry? And the answer is, you use these really shitty potions that you're not going to have a lot of. You're going to feel bad every time you're using them, and it's going to hurt your feelings a little bit, you know? Or you'll just use magic potions and call it a day, like I did for 90% of content. You know? It's one or the other, but I don't think it's the heart that's the problem. I think it's the potions. Nah, fuck that. Dupe protection in general is, I think, really stupid. Steel Town? The next question is, what about dupe protection in the form of one of each superior mega rare before getting a dupe? Then you can get dupes unlimited. I think bad luck protection can only come in natural ways. I think if we're adding bad luck protection specifically for Iron Man, it's just a dog shit precedent to be setting. I think when bad luck protection comes in natural ways, it's really healthy for the game. For example, if they added an upgrade to Inquisitor that then requires you to break down Inquisitor pieces, there is now effectively bad luck protection on Inquisitor items. If you get 3 chain skirts, you're just as fine as if you got a full set of Inquisitor. That's natural dry protection. I think stuff like that is completely fine, and, like, we now have dry protection on Armadillo pieces. The only Armadillo piece you have to get now is the helmet for clues. That's it. The rest is, you don't need it. You just have to get some amount of Armadillo. So, like, I think adding real, on-paper dry protection gets scary, because, people are needy and people love to cry, and once it's one thing, it will be the next thing and the next thing after that, and the slippery slope is real when it comes to catering to people's feelings on being dry on items. Because, it's a real conversation, and it's one that gets scary quick, in terms of the fun of the game mode. Like, what do you even play it for? You know what I mean? You're gonna get lucky on some things. You're gonna get unlucky on other things. Your account is gonna end up in this weird state. You're not always gonna have everything on an Iron Man, and that's the reality of the game mode. And people want to be able to have access and get every single item on the drop rate every single time. That's just not gonna fucking happen. It just won't. Odds don't allow that. So I think we need to avoid dry protection in general, unless it's natural dry protection that just happens by things being added into the game that now make it so you might not need to get a full set of something. You might just need to break down 2 or 3 pieces of that set to get the upgraded version. Then you have the issue of getting all 3 of the new pieces of the new set, but at the very least, you're not specifically getting screwed at Nightmare if you happen to be dry on the chest piece, for example. This is random, but just back on bad luck protection. I think for almost all untradeables, I'm so fine with bad luck protection. Usually they do, like, RNG increases bad luck protection. I think they could go a little bit heavier with the number skewing for the untradable shit. I think the Muspa icon is a little bit criminal. Vorkath head is fine. But, like, they adjusted the teleport at Nightmare, thank God. Like, some of those things were fucking egregious before. I'm super fine with it for most untradable stuff. I think the fucking gems... The gems should have way more aggressive bad luck protection. I'm sorry, but the TOA gems... They made them worse by adding the black gem. They literally made it more annoying to get the gems you want from TOA. Somehow. I don't know how those are still in a cringe state. But, like, I know way too many people that have gone more than, like, 150 raids for their yellow gem. And it's like, bro, that's half of the fucking gameplay loop of the raid. That's, like, actually half of the raid's gameplay loop. That shit should have way more aggressive dry protection. It's one of the few things in the game that I'm like, boys, what are we doing here? Help the noobs out. Seriously. This one's an issue. That one I don't like. Not good, not good. Hope you boys enjoyed that one. I enjoyed yapping about it. I appreciate all you guys who show up on stream and ask me these questions and get me going on these topics. Sometimes you guys get me going for an hour plus, depending on how much we have to say, but I really do appreciate y'all. And again, we're going to give a massive shout out to all of our channel members. Big shout out to Why Try It Why and Sev, my goat from stream. Sev, beast. Thank you so much for being channel members. Any support you guys give me helps greatly in terms of just the day-to-day life and keeping me afloat and keeping me able to get this stuff out there. I appreciate any little bit that you guys can do. Even just watching the videos is absolutely massive, and I am eternally grateful. So thank you all so very much. I hope you enjoyed the rant. Comment below any topics you might want me to cover if we don't see it come up on stream. Maybe if we pull something from the comments, if you happen to have something you want to hear me yap about. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. If you made it here, you're still hearing me yap. Hope you have a beautiful night. Drink some water, touch some grass, and kiss a homie. And I'll see you in the next one, boys.